Hello and welcome to this edition of Capital Market This Weekend. I'm Temple Ashaju. MSCI this week announced its decision to retain the MSCI Nigeria indexes on its radar. A statement from the financial institution says the Nigerian market will now be removed from the review list for potential reclassification to standalone status. MSCI will also no longer apply the special treatment for the Nigeria indexes announced on April the 29th of 2016. More specifically, as part of the upcoming November 2017 semi-annual index review, MSCI will implement all index review changes, including changes in the number of shares and foreign inclusion factors that have been postponed since April the 29th last year. These changes will be made for securities classified under the MSCI Nigeria indexes, and this includes Nigerian breweries, Guarantee Trust Banks, Zenith Bank PLC, Nestle Nigeria, Dangote Cement, United Bank for Africa, that's UBA, Access Bank, as well as Stanbic IBTC, First Bank of Nigeria Holdings, that's FBNH, Seplat Nigeria PLC, that has a dual listing, Guinness Nigeria, EcoBank Transnational Incorporated, Lafarge Wapco, Unilever Nigeria, PZ Nigeria, Forte Oil, and basically these whole securities that are found on the MSCI index. Well, these same security companies rather have contributed largely to the state of the Nigerian equity market, just as their status have also generated income for investors, either by way of bonuses, dividends, despite the difficult business environment. But should these companies be rewarded for any form of contributions to the market? Well, we'll find out how and why that should be done later on the program this evening. But then let's have a look at some of the news that made headlines this week. And most of the news that we have centers around the depository, which is the central securities clearing system of the Nigerian capital markets. The CSCS, as it is fondly called, has announced the appointment of Mr. Haruna Jalo-Waziri as the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the company. His appointment takes effect from November the 1st of this year, 2017. Mr. Jalo-Waziri replaces Mr. Bola Adeko, who was appointed Interim Chief Executive Officer on January the 1st of 2017, following the early retirement of the company erstwhile CEO, that's the Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Buka Kyari. The Central Securities Clearing System still has introduced the new trading solution known as TCS Banks for Securities Depository, Clearing and Settlement. The interim Chief Executive Officer of CSCS, Mr. Bola Adeko, explains that the solution change is geared towards increasing automation and improving efficiencies in the Nigerian capital market. It replaces the Nasdaq Equator, which has been in use since inception of the company in 1997. The new market infrastructure is expected to drive straight-through processing by providing the ability to support multiple markets and asset classes on the same platform. Time for us now to review some of the earnings that came into the stock markets this week, reported to the Nigerian Stock Exchange. We'll begin with FBN Holdings. FBN Holdings released its Q3, that's quarter 3 2017 results, with the revenue and net income coming in at 5.17% and 7.81% respectively, compared to the Q3 figures that we had before now. Revenue was moderately boosted by interest income, which comprises returns on investment securities, loans and advances to banks and customers. Investment securities grew by 61.9% and was boosted by high interest environment. FBNH cost lines were relatively high against Q3 2016, as represented by its interest expenses. This explained the decline in pre-tax income and marginal growth on net income, aided by lower tax expenses. Now, indigenous industrial milling company Dangote Flour is reporting stellar performance in its 9 months earnings results. According to the company's financial statement released to the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the group's revenue more than doubled from 49.84 billion naira in 2016 to 100.27 billion naira as of September 30th of this year. The group's operating profit also increased from 4.7 billion naira to over 19 billion naira. Profit before tax surged from 2.64 billion naira to 18 billion naira, while its profit after tax leaped to 13 billion naira from 2.84 billion naira that was reported in the preceding year. Over to what we saw on UACN, reporting a rather disappointing financial performance in its current 9 months earnings after beating the odds of recession last year. The company operating profit as of September the 30th lowered to 5.5 billion naira against 6.4 billion naira posted same period last year. Its profit before tax also fell by 55% to 1.9 billion naira, while profits for the period shared reduced from 4.34 billion naira to 1.97 billion naira. And quickly, before we delve into our discussion for this evening, let's look at what the markets posted this weekend. We'll start with the NASD OTC, where the unlisted securities index crossed the 600 psychological line by 0.85% week on week and came in with a market capitalization of 409.46 billion naira, having had 38.59 million naira worth of trades on that platform of the market. Fast track to the fixed income markets, where we have the FGN bonds as well as treasury bills. Total bonds traded on Friday, which is yesterday, on the FMDQ OTC is put at 70, while the total value of all of those tradings came in at 9.27 billion naira. And if you look at the numbers for the treasury bills, we have the November 2017, December 2017, as well as 14th of December 2017 securities attracting investors, which came in at a total number of deals put at 435, valued at 114.78 billion naira. And for the equities markets, looking at the numbers, all-share index this week remains at 36,462.26 level, shedding 0.34%. That's 34 basis points, but with the market capitalization still at the 12.6 trillion naira level. Total volume is 1.394 billion, while value is 16.40 billion naira. For the indices, we've got the NSE 30, NSE Insurance Index, as well as consumer goods, oil and gas. Basically, most of the indices underperforming for this week, except for the banking sector index. And for the gainers and losers, we've got NASCON and Dangote Flour, as well as Fidelity Bank as the top three gainers. Kiotics, Forte Oil, and Axam Mansard dropping to the other side of the divide. Those are the top three losers right there on the screen.